Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of Daily Stock, we are going to look at the quarterly earnings for the Broadcom, which were released after hours yesterday. And because of that, we are seeing a lot of action in the stock of the Broadcom, which is higher, around 1.5 percentage point at the time at the moment. And if we look at the volatility, it is of course a lot more volatile than usual. And as was the expectations, the revenue has risen both sequentially as well as in year-on-year terms, and so as the stock, which is also seeing uptake. And I think this momentum is likely to last. And if we have to look for the trading and investing decisions in the coming days, coming weeks, coming months, we have to look at its fundamental side, which is quite positive. This is the year of the AI sort of revolution, you can say, and in it, the companies like Broadcom, which are chip makers, are benefiting. This AI boom is pushing more and more enterprises and clients to opt for next generation chips with neural networking capabilities, and that is fueling the innovation. And these players like Broadcom, Nvidia, AMD, etc., have benefited a lot. Of course, not everyone is making a killing, but the initiative is there, the drive is there, and the market is demanding more and more. And if the chip makers are able to fulfill it, of course, they are going to gain. So this is a win-win for all. And in this environment, I think we can also rely on the Broadcom to provide the competitive solutions. So we are going to look at its quarterly earnings, which were released yesterday, and then we will see what the stocks fundamentals and the technicals are telling us, and if there are emerging opportunities for us to trade and invest, whatever be your time horizon, short term, medium term, or for that matter, long term. If we look at the revenues for the fourth quarter of this financial year for the Broadcom, the revenue is higher 4% year on year, and also sequentially it is having a solid growth number in sequential terms as well. And for the Broadcom, there is a high operating margin business, and even the net profit is substantial. So instead of reading through the pros, we will be straight away jumping to the consolidated income statement, because as investors we are better at reading the numbers than reading the words. And because of that, I would prefer to skip these highlight parts and straight away jump to the condensed income statement. But here, some of the key highlights have been listed, and these are publicly available document. You can access it by going to the investor relation page of the Broadcom, where you will find it, and you can go through the fine print, see what are the highlights for the last quarter and what the company is expecting the current quarter is likely to be. And if I am looking at this statement, the key thing to take note of is the growth. There has been quite substantial growth in the revenue and in the net profit as well. For the guidance, the forward guidance is also on the positive side. So overall, the company is doing well currently as well as for the forward guidance for the future. The things look bullishly poised. Now, if we look at the fiscal year 2023 revenues, there is 8% growth year on year that has been highlighted. Now, let us head to the consolidated statement. And prior to that, we also have to consider this business outlook for the fiscal year 2024. The revenue guidance is a lot higher, which is almost 30 to 40% higher than the current financial year's revenue. And there are solid reasons with the company for offering these substantially higher forward revenue guidance, and its recent acquisition has also been included the VMware, so that is also going to contribute to these higher revenues, and also the organic growth is also expected. This is the statement of operations. All right, now if you look at these statement of operations, you can see that year on year as well as in sequential terms, the revenue growth is quite robust, more so in sequential terms, and as it has been able to improve its operating margin, the net income is also on the higher side. The operating income is showing substantial increase sequentially, almost 10 percentage point growth in the operating income. There is a lower deferred taxes, and the interest expense is almost similar to prior quarters. There is not much of a change, with the net income available to be distributed amongst the shareholders standing at US dollar 3.5 billion. Of course, not all of it is going to be distributed. Some of it has been utilized for the buyback. Some will be distributed in the form of dividends. So that is for another session. I'm not going to go into how the board is going to decide on the distribution of income. Our main concern is how much money the company has been able to generate, and if it is likely to sustain this momentum. And for that, we can rely on this income statement, which is showing almost 33% net profit margin. And if we look at the cash flows of the company, we get a good idea of how the company is putting its money to the use. The cash provided by the operations stand at 4.8 billion US dollars, of which the 124 million dollars have been used for the investing activities. In the financing activities, US dollar 2.57 billion have been used mainly on account of dividend payments, which has the bill of 1.9 billion dollars. Then there is share repurchase and payments on the debt obligation. Even after all this, we have the free cash increase, and that has taken the cash and cash equivalents at the beginning of the period, which were at US dollar 12.05 billion. Now these have increased to more than US dollar 14 billion. So this is a quite remarkable quarter for the company with this cash and cash equivalent, which is liquid asset, showing remarkable growth, freeing up more and more cash for future investing and acquisition if any favorable opportunity comes the company's way. Now we turn our attention to the technical side of the share price to look at the developments which we can then utilize to our advantage. For last couple of sessions for the second half of November and till yesterday's session, we were seeing the corrective in the share price, and it had lost almost 10 percentage point from the high to the swing low, but that has reversed. And here if we simply look at its recent low, there has been this 5% growth already, and the momentum now I feel is going to be more favorable for buying trades. The buy on dip strategy can also be applied, and the immediate support zone is of course going to come at this level of around 900. So that is going to be the price level to watch out for in upcoming sessions as well. I don't think that right now it is the opportune time to buy, but since the momentum is bullish and we have already seen the quarterly earnings which are showing substantial rise, the forward guidance is also on the positive side. So taken together, all these factors are painting a rosy picture for the Broadcom, and not to forget the recent frenzy around the newer ability chips. Only last week, the Broadcom had made the announcement regarding the release of its neural capability chip, and this kind of developments are going to generate positive buzz for the company. And with this, I think for short term, the momentum is looking positive, is looking bullish, and the buy on dips is going to be the, pardon me, appropriate strategy to adopt in this environment. Now we turn our gaze to the medium term, and here the developments are similar, and we have had the breakout of sort after long consolidation where the price level was capped just little above 900 for last couple of months. That seems to have given way to fresh breakout and a new swing high being established at 1000. And after that, the Broadcom shares again corrected only to find support closer to these prior swing lows, and now this can be the opportunity to buy. So if you are a longer term to medium term investors, I think the time to look for the buying is now. If you see the stock stabilizing and holding around the current price levels for the next couple of days, and even in today's session, if you are willing enough, the trade can also be taken. Better maybe on Monday once we come back after the weekend, we can then go for a new trade as well. So the momentum for the medium term looks bullish, and for next couple of weeks the momentum is likely to remain poised northward unless there is any significant drop below the 850-840 levels in the coming weeks. unless that happens, I think it is appropriate for us to keep stance on the bullish side and keep looking for the opportunity to buy. Let us look at what the scenario is telling us from the longer term perspective. For the longer term, there has been substantial rally. The stock has almost doubled in these years' time, and on these elevated levels, it becomes a bit difficult to go for a fresh investment. But then there is also another view that we can't really go against the flow, and even after having seen these substantial rally, if the momentum is still strong, we might continue to see this rally on the higher side, and we can't really define the upper limit at the current juncture. But since it is already on this elevated level, maybe we can allow it more time for the consolidation. So overall, the momentum is solid. It is substantially positive, and all that entails is keen eye to look for the opportunities and try to profit from that. So for next couple of months, you can even say couple of quarters, the momentum is favorable for the buying opportunities. And in this kind of scenario, all we have to do is keep an eye on these prior breakout level of around 700. So unless there is any drop below 700 for next couple of months, the momentum is bullish, and from the longer term perspective, it is a stock where you can go for the investment and sit sound, sit and sit tight, or also you can have a sound sleep and expect the company to keep working for you and deliver you profit in course of time. So that's all from my side. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Now I'm signing off for the day, signing off for the week, and I'll be back on Monday with a equally interesting stock to work with. So do come back after spending a fabulous weekend. See you next time around. Thank you all for joining in. Have a good day. Goodbye.